Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. And tonight, XCAL is going to get messy as they go to the short track at Lanier. And it's always a great show at Lanier. And tonight, since Marty is not here tonight, we've got Robert Colgan in the booth with us tonight. Robert, great to have you up here. Sad you're not on track, buddy.
I've taken a little bit of time off here with XCAL. I need some time to relax, so that's perfect timing.
Well, it is definitely great for us. I know there's a lot of stories that have been happening this week, and we might as well get into some of these interviews. 3 weeks left to go in this, or 4 weeks, including tonight, left to go in the season. This ought to get interesting, and let's see if, let's see if we can get Rocky Boyd in here. Hey, Rocky, this is Doug and Robert in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir. I got y'all.
Hey, interesting night ahead for you, I hear.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. We got 450 laps at a 3/8 of a mile, and it's we got a bunch of cars here. It's gonna be entertaining, nonetheless.
Definitely going to be an entertaining one, but my understanding is there's a little feud going on right now with you.
Oh, I mean, me and Matt got into it one of our heat races, but me and him have talked. We're not really on the same page, but I'm over it going into this race. I don't know what his intentions are, but I'm just looking forward to get behind the wheel of this Black Sheep racing machine and trying to put it up somewhere near the front, hopefully in victory lane at the end of the night.
Well, you're definitely fast already tonight. Third on the board right now, man. How are you feeling your chances are? You've obviously got the speed. Can you survive? Lanier is definitely one that we see a bit of attrition at.
Yeah, like I said, we got 450 laps at a 3/8 of a mile with, I think, 40 cars. So it's going to just be luck of the draw on if the lap cars are nice to you and, you know, are patient and get out of the way, and then racing against the other people. Because, I mean, there's a bunch of us who are all super close looking at lap times, and it's going to be good. I just, with this new damage model, I'm hoping that we can keep the car in one piece throughout the night. And
and not have that happen.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I did not see him reverging, so apologies to Luke Turpin.
All right, man. Good luck tonight. Hopefully you survive, and hopefully we're talking to you in victory lane.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a great one. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. All right, next up is the Mad Bear, and Robert, I'm gonna let you talk to the Mad Bear. Matt, you got us?
Yeah, brother, I got you.
Hey, Matt, we just had your good buddy Rocky on here. What's going on with you guys tonight?
Oh, there ain't going to be much of nothing, because if he gets to me, he's going to get shoved into the wall. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, he just shows up every other couple weeks and just runs through everybody as much as he wants to. Guess what? Not tonight. Like, I don't know who he thinks he is, but I'm going to let him know who I am real quick.
Well, they have a new damage model, I guess, and I haven't tried it out. Does that change, do you have a plan of what you intend on doing so you can walk away from that?
Make it look unintentional and keep driving. It's very simple. He's a scumbag, yet he shows no respect for nobody and then blames other people for when he runs you over. So we're going to see how he likes that tonight.
What kind of car do you think you got here tonight? Do you think you can finish top 5, top 10?
I hate this track, to be honest with you. I mean, I think maybe we could get a decent top 10. Everything goes great, maybe top 5. I don't think I have anything for any win here tonight unless we have a 20-car pile-up, but just go out here and get a solid top 10 will be nice.
Well, I'll be watching you tonight, and good luck to you, and I guess we'll just see what happens tonight.
Yeah, we will, won't we?
I'll be enjoying it.
Thanks, man.
Well, obviously Rocky Boyd and Matt Bear are not on the same page at all, Robert.
No, I'm enjoying it. It's going to be interesting to see, especially I've heard this new damage model. It's a little fragile, so it's going to be interesting to see who gets what.
Well, let's see if we can pull down PDJ Zeller and see what he's thinking about it. Oh, I had him. There we go. Hey, Petey, it's Doug and Robert. You got us, buddy?
Hey, Doug and Rob. How's it going, boys?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good.
Man, first question of the night. We're hearing a lot about the new damage model, and Robert was just asking Matt about it, but what are your thoughts on this new damage model and the cars being a bit more sensitive?
Yeah, I ran a lot of these races during week 13 on my alternative account, because I like the street stock. It's a car I enjoy. And the first race I ran with the new damage model, I got a 0x in my back bumper down the straightaway racing for the lead at South Boston. Like, someone just gave me a little tap in the bumper. Didn't even put any damage in the car. It was a 0x. And then a meatball popped up, and I was like, oh boy, this is not going to be good when we put 45 cars on Lanier. And I'm a little bit nervous for tonight, but hopefully I can just, I really kind of just like having the grenade in your playing a toss with a grenade with your buddies. Eventually someone's gonna get blown up by the grenade. I just hope it's not me.
I see a first time winner here tonight, then, judging by the calls of the damage model. It could be a guy that's usually a mid-pack guy. He just takes care of his stuff and whittles his way up to the front.
It's certainly within the realm of possibility. I mean, who knows? It's a long race. Maybe, a guy like Alex Crapser, who really keeps his nose clean, never takes a risk. I think this is a race that's really going to favor a guy like him. Someone that's just clean and drives clean, not like an Alex Crapser or someone like that. But before I finish up this interview, too, I just wanted to say, I know Joe and Danny, that they went out camping and they're not feeling too well right now. I don't know what's up with them, but I know they're not feeling too hot. We're going to go out there. We're going to put J&S car in victory lane tonight for you guys. We really hope you feel better, Joe. We wish you were here on the track. I just took a safety meeting for you. I know you know what that means. And I hope I can bring home my first win with J&S tonight. But if I'm not, I have confidence that one of my teammates will. So, Joe and Danny, we're thinking about you guys.
Good luck tonight, Petey, and hopefully we see one of those J&S cars in victory lane.
Hey, thank you, guys. Have fun in the booth.
Yeah, good luck.
Well, Robert, getting ready for this one, and as we talked about a moment ago, I mean, you've been here at Lanier. You know how interesting things can get here very, very quickly, especially with heavy lap traffic.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys don't like this track. I actually like this track. I just don't like some of the people I'm on the track with. But I started off really good here earlier in the season. I was up in the top 5, and then pit strategy just killed me. And the big thing here is the guys need to line up quickly and get nose to tail, because I think tonight we're going to see some other guys getting black flags for just waiting on people coming out of the pits. It's a very, very busy place.
Hey, you've got Joseph Hurd saying hi, so make sure you say hi back to him.
What's up, Joe? He actually ran a couple XCAL races this year.
I knew I recognized that name.
Yep, he ran a couple, and Oxford, I think, was the last one he did, and I've never heard Joe really get angry. I think by lap 5, he was ready to be done.
It's going to be an interesting night for sure. 30 seconds left to go in the practice. The field is already set in qualifying. A lot of notable changes. We've got new sponsors here tonight. We've got Tri-Ink on for the replays. So the Cooler Crew is back, and we have Telesign here for our blimp tonight. So ought to be awesome. Plus, we'll be talking to Kenny Tripp at some point tonight about the new butt kicker promotion through XCAL. So that's going to be an exciting one as well. Jeff Edgar is our in-car driver. It's going to be a wild night as practice comes to a close. And they get all the cars to pit road and about to line up here. Everybody getting up here, and it looks like pulling up the grid, and it looks like Noah Carpenter. I do believe this is his first pole, followed by Rocky Boyd on the front row. Luke Turpin, Zach Edwards have the second row. Tyler McRae and Ryan Seams on the third. Sean Patrick, Alex Crapser have the fourth row. Matt Pelletier and PDJ Zell are rounding out the top 10. Brent Mekas and Stephen Rex, 11th and 12th. 13th is Mason Foster with Mike Ashby in 14th. Jimmy Johnson in 15th. Matt Bear in 16th. Sean Andrews, 17th. Kendrick Cryer in 18th. Joey Keneally, 19th. Albie Hewen starts in 20th. Billy Snodgrass in 21st. Kyle McRecken Martin in 22nd. Jose Godino, 23rd. Blake Wynn in 24th. 25th is Jeff Edgar. Jonathan Schwartz is 26th. John Friley, 27th. Greg Holes, 28th. Derek Colson is 29th. And Don Jordan in 30th. Art Hendren, Brad Ebel, Jonathan Bronson, Adam Gilliott, Chris Johnson, Wally Wilson, and Tanner Kalin rounding out the field. Any final thoughts you got there before we drop the green here tonight?
Noah Carpenter, because I didn't get a chance to really look at the lineup for today because it was last minute for me to come in the booth. But Noah Carpenter, he's been a pretty good little race car driver, and I expect to see some good things out of him tonight. And Steven Rex, he's been very solid and consistent tonight. He's a pretty clean guy too, so with that damage model, he might be someone to watch.
Another interesting note, I do not see our points leader, Austin Edwards, in the field tonight. I know the Edwards High Performance team was talking about fielding very few, if any, cars this week, so surprised that at least Austin's not here.
Yeah, I just now see that Mike Ashby's going to be starting in his car here.
Well, pace car is in, and here we go. Noah Carpenter leads him down. Green flag is in the air, and I have to ask, Robert, do you think we're going to see anybody be cautious in the early going with the new damage model tonight?
I think so, but I think too, a lot of guys, some guys are overcautious and maybe get around someone that's, well, we're 3 wide back here with the 54, the 062, and is that the 96? No, I guess not.
There is some a lot of side-by-side battling back around 20th as guys are trying to fight their way forward. A lot of guys pushing early, so I don't think there's a little caution. And we've got the 18 of Mike Ashby blinking already tonight. That could be a problem.
Yeah, these small tracks, that really, really sucks. To be around a guy like that, and then for them to come in and pit. I mean, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it definitely does. Edmund Jones asking over/under on how many cars finish with the new damage model. That's a really good question.
Man, I think we're going to see a lot of cars finish in. I mean, these guys aren't dumb. A lot of these guys in XCAL, they're some of the better street stock drivers in iRacing. I think they're going to be all right.
You're probably right. Shout out to Ty. I'm getting there, buddy. And good evening to Cortland and Gerald Thanos Pool cheering on J&S Racing here. And we've got, again, shout out to Joe Campbell and Danny. Both of them apparently sick tonight. Joe not in the field tonight. So hope you two get feeling better quickly. And as we heard in pre-race, hoping that one of these J&S cars gets into victory lane tonight. Looking through the field to see any big movers out there. Anybody of note you've seen yet, Robert?
I'm not really seeing. They're all fanning out pretty good right now. I don't know if something happened to John Friley, but he's already getting lapped there. Already been lapped. But these guys are running pretty clean. I'm looking right now from Ace on back, and they're just running single file. Nice little train going right now, but how long will that last?
Not very long, I'd imagine. Blake Wynn is already up 6 spots into 14th. John Schwartz up 7. Wally Wilson, I do believe this is his first start in XCAL Racing. He's up 13 spots into 23rd already. He is definitely making a move. And Chris Johnson in the 60, already up 9 spots into 26. So a lot of drivers starting to fight their way forward early on tonight.
Yeah, and I just see now Jonathan Bronson's in the field, but he's running back here in 33rd or so right now. 35th, actually. I don't know how well he's going to do, if he got his blinking under control or what, but it's very rare to see him that far back already.
Looks like Friley and Bronson had an issue very early on. Let's hit the Tri-E Inc. replay and see. It looks like it was right on the... May have been right on the start here. Off into turn 1, looking at Friley and Brun. There were several cars that get stacked up through 1 and 2, right down by the inside wall. That got a bit iffy early on, but they managed to stay out of the racing line and get moving quickly.
I think that's a sign of, like I said, people being overcautious. I mean, you probably had one guy, had all the right intentions, goes down in a corner, just takes it a little bit slower than everybody else. Everyone behind suffers, and nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, getting asked a question in the comments about recruitment. You can join XCAL Racing at xcalracing.com. Go fill out the new driver form, read the rules, and they'll get you in the Discord, and Aaron will get you hooked up. Noah Carpenter still leading, Rocky Boyd in second, Luke Turpin in third, Tyler McRae in fourth. Looking back through the field, as you mentioned, a lot of single file racing here. I think guys are being just about perfect right now, trying to keep those cars alive for 450 laps.
Yeah, it's I think we're gonna see green flag pit stops here the first round, and then after that we're gonna get guys either trying to catch back up for mistakes on pit road or just making up as much time as they can, and then cautions are gonna start to come after.
Well, I know one guy who's not being extraordinarily cautious. Wally Wilson now up 17 spots in the 19th. He's definitely coming out and putting on a show for his first run. John Brancaccio saying looking for Brent Meckes to get a top 10 here tonight as well. And you did mention in pre-race, Robert, that, hey, you know, this would be a great race with the damage model, and with just Lanier being Lanier, we could see a first-time winner here. If you had to look through the field and pick who would be the best for a first-time win, who do you think it'd be?
Ooh, you have to give me a minute there, but Meckes is a good, solid guy. Doesn't really cause a whole lot of problems. Jose Gaudino, he's another one that's very careful. He doesn't like to stack up them incident points. So the guys that you've been seeing this season with very few incident points and just running mid-pack, I think they're gonna be the ones that come out of this on top.
Definitely would be a good bet here. And Noah Carpenter in the lead, and Rocky Boyd, they are starting to battle side. Oh, Noah got into Rocky. Rocky gets sideways. He manages to hold on to it, but he's going to lose some ground here. Rocky Boyd now to the lead. Noah actually holding on to second at the moment. That got sketchy as they're trying to weave their way through lap traffic already. Wow.
Yeah, Rocky, I'm not sure about him. There's a lot of incidents that's around with him. I mean, not gonna lie, me personally, he's not one of my favorites. I don't trust him behind me, around me, anywhere. It's gonna be interesting to watch him here tonight, though. Because I mean, like I said, that damage model, man, it's gonna kill these aggressive guys. It's gonna teach them that they gotta back off.
Yeah, that is definitely the case, especially with what Petey said. I haven't had a chance to test the new damage model yet, and I have to say the last time we had an XCAL race right after a new damage model was released was Texas last year, and almost had the first ever XCAL red flag because the damage model and the glitching was causing so many issues. It could get a little bit wild before the night's out.
Yeah, I haven't been able to test it out yet myself, but it seems like every year when they do an update, the first update, things get a little fragile, and then they'll fix it, but hopefully. But it seems like that way all the time.
It definitely does, and as somebody who works in IT, I know it's always a struggle when you're releasing new stuff, but man, they do a great job. Holy cow!
Yeah, Bronson, he got in the back of, is that the 56 or 66?
That was Rocky Boyd that went around up at the front. Just now, his car is really broken. We're about to see the first instance of the new damage model as Rocky Boyd is crabbing down the front straight, or down the back straight. And remember, XCAL has no fast repairs. He's going to be on pit road for a while. Let's take a look at the Tri-E Inc. replay here. And there's the 717 down on the bottom. He's having to check up for lap cars. And it looks like oh, man, it looks like there might have been a little bit of payback there from Noah Carpenter.
Yeah, it looks like the 56 backed up there, and then the 67 got in the back of him. And you know, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to jinx anybody, but I was going to say I didn't see Rocky making it past lap 50 tonight, so it looks like my thought was right.
Well, he's definitely going to be on pit road for a while. We've got a lot of cars mid-pack hitting pit road already. The pit window was right around 85 to 90 laps, so some of these guys know that there is always that potential for a long green flag run here. Some of these guys getting their fuel topped off, maybe getting some tires and seeing what they can do from here. Luke Turpin, no surprise, he is staying out.
Yeah, I think I learned my lesson earlier this year. I did the same thing. I think we got a caution right around this same time, maybe a little earlier, and I stayed out and benefited from it, and then I shot myself in the foot and sat on pit road just a second too long and went a lap down, and it just all went downhill from there. So
well,
this is an easy place though to go lap down if you're not paying attention.
It really, really is. After everybody gets done with pit stops, the drivers that stayed out, we've got a few that stayed out just to pick up a ton of track position. Guys like Adam Gilliott already up 31 spots into third. Brent Mekas is now up into. They're going to line up in the second row. Billy Snodgrass up 17. Albie Hewins up 15. This thing could get interesting very quickly with these guys now being up front and having that track position.
Yeah, I'm going to point something out because it's drove me nuts this season, especially at Lanier. I don't know why. I've never had a problem with it. You see guys, they stop there at the end of pit road and they stack it all up and then they wonder why there's an accident or something. Just go. I mean, you see there's a couple guys sitting down there. Don't know for what reason, but I've never had any issue telling me to stop at the end pit road.
No, that's, I know you can occasionally get an alert that says, you can't pull out of the pit road yet, but that's usually on the bigger tracks. You don't see it very often on short tracks.
No, it's, I don't know why they do it, but...
The world may never know. One of those deals.
Yeah, there's some things some of these guys do that I don't understand why, but we only got 13 cars on the lead lap right now.
That
it looks like.
Yeah, that is definitely the case, and a bit of a surprise that guys didn't get. So many went to pit road here. You got to wonder on the strategy if this is going to play out or if these guys up front have just sealed the deal for a lot of guys, putting them a lap down. The last car on the lead lap, the Ryan Seams fan club will be happy to note he's currently running in 13th, the last car on the lead lap. So
there's a strong pick right there, Ryan Seams, too.
Definitely. Pace truck is in. Green is back in the air. And it looks like we're seeing a little bit more aggression on this restart. I think we're about to see some guys a lap or more down trying to fight their way through these leaders.
Yeah, I'd maybe see a caution here pretty soon after this now. Got some guys, and it looks like they got together there. 25, and I don't know who that is. Some of these guys need to clean up their paint schemes. Hard for us colorblind folks to see.
Yeah, I can imagine that'd be a little bit tricky. Jim Johnson, suddenly, he was up a lot of spots not that long ago, but he is dropping back, and it looks like Mason Foster was involved in an incident a moment ago. Let's take a look at that. The 98 going off into turn 1. Out of turn 2, coming down the back, straight. Oh, there was a big checkup on corner entry into 3. And Mason and Tyler McRae get together, but both of them managed to recover the cars very quickly, although both losing a lot of ground here.
I wonder if something happened to Friley's car during that incident whenever we went green, because he's just been riding high and staying out of the way, and he's just losing all kinds of time right now.
Currently scored in 25th, and yeah, everybody, he's moving up the track into that third lane, just letting everybody go. That's, I thought he was going to recover from that. He didn't take any significant damage, but here he is falling back. And Rocky Boyd appears to have officially retired.
And have we hit lap 50 yet?
49.
I should have put some money on there. Oh, we got a spin.
And caution is out. Looks like Jonathan Schwartz involved. Back to the Tri-E Inc. replay. Schwartz coming out of turn 3. Headed down into turn 1. And everybody checks up in front. Oh, the 3 car gets turned and everybody behind stacks up. Several cars go around. Looks like Schwartz ended up having to tow to pit road. That's going to be a heartbreaker.
Yeah, Schwartz usually, especially tracks like these, it drives me nuts because I don't know how he does it, but he'll be running back there in 23rd, and then towards the end of the race, he's randomly running like 3rd. I don't know what he does, but it's tough for him, especially in the position and points that he's in right now.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a bit heartbreaking. He's been working his way up all season, as we've mentioned in a lot of broadcasts, and as you were talking about, he's generally the first half of the race, you don't talk about him. He's not around. The second half of the race, he comes out of nowhere. And he's up battling in the top 10.
He's like a silent assassin, and if you talk to him, because it's people, they say the same thing about like Kyle Larson. He doesn't talk like a race car driver. Like, he's just this nice kid, you wouldn't even know. And when he's out there, I mean, he can be pretty aggressive too. So, good little race car driver.
Yeah, and we've talked about it a couple times this season, but would you agree that last season he was a lot more reserved and conservative? This season, the aggression level with that young man has really gone up.
Oh yeah, because I had to have a little talk with him after Nashville heat races. He gave my driver, at the time when I owned Colgan Enterprise, he gave my driver a little bump that I didn't appreciate at the end, and but I still like him. He's a great kid. But he has shocked me. He's gotten very aggressive lately.
Yeah, he definitely has. Seeing Danny down in the comments, and as Alex Crapser is being scored as the leader at the moment, but everybody trying to figure out, we had so many cars go a lap down here early. Everybody trying to get sorted out into the right place. I'd imagine this caution would be extended. Danny, how are you and Joe doing? I hope you guys are feeling better. Yeah, it looks like Tyler McRae is back scored as the leader. Crapser in second at the moment.
Yeah, Crapser, I mean, he's one of the guys on my favorite list. I mean, just a nice guy, smooth, clean, and I think he just deserved a few more wins this year than what he has.
Yeah, he's definitely been very clean, very smooth, and he's a lot like Schwartz. You just don't know he's there until late in the race when he's suddenly there and all up in the top 3, giving these guys a run for their money. As Sean Patrick just had a huge blink.
I'm looking, and speaking of Sean's, I'm looking 6th place Sean Andrews. He's been putting on the heat here later in the season. I've noticed he's been running really, really well. And he just seems like the race falls apart for him towards the end. So it'd be nice to see him get a good run tonight.
It really would. I think you're right. He's one of those drivers that it looks like he's going to have everything go his way, and then in the last 25% of the race, it just suddenly falls apart for him, and it becomes a real struggle. As it looks like Aaron may be having a little bit of struggle getting everybody lined out and situated at this point. Looks like scoring is going wonky.
I mean, this is such a tough place. This and Sobo, such a tough place to get lined back up. Looks like we're going to go green this time.
Well, Greg Hull's currently scored as the leader, and green flag is back in the air. Greg Hull's was in turn 3 when they crossed the start-finish line. And just now crosses it.
Let's go, Greg.
Well, a lot of drivers just got back to the tail end of the lead lap. Looks like the 3 of Joey Keneally coming to pit road suddenly. He must have had some sort of penalty. We're now showing, looks like 25 cars back on the lead lap, but Greg is looking to put as many as possible back a lap down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Greg's had a tough break this season. He's run really solid, just things happen, and it's the same way with me this season. I had a good top 10, top 15 set, and then you get guys get impatient. They just wreck, and it's just the way she goes.
I have to ask, if you, I know you said this is your one of your least favorite tracks. If you're out there running in this race, do you take it easy earlier, or are you going to try and get as far forward as quickly as possible?
Well, this is actually one of my more favorite races, but me, we got a spin going by pit entrance.
Looks like Albie Hewins and Jose Godino. Caution does come out again. And here we go down into turn 3. And oh, the 61 was loose right in front of him. And look at the car stack up. Jose just has to check up to not get into Albie. Oh, Matt Bear's involved in that as well. Wow, what a rough start to the night for a lot of drivers. And I gotta say, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of the damage model play out here in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, it shocked me because by the way they were talking, the least bit of contact, you're screwed. But I've been seeing some heavier contact, and it's been holding up some. So I'm sure it's not as good as what it used to be, but it seemed I've been kind of impressed. I mean, I'm sure it sucks though.
Well, I know Rocky Boy did not seem like he had that much contact, but you saw how badly that car was damaged. I think it's kind of, for lack of a better way to put it, hit and miss.
Yep, it's just, I guess, the way you got to get hit lucky, I guess. I mean, I'm sure Greg didn't want to see that caution because it looked like he was getting out close to a 2-second lead, and that's going to pull that back in.
It is going to put a few more cars back on the lead lap. It looks like Noah Carpenter, Jonathan Bronson, and Brent Mekas are the 3 cars in position to get waved back around here.
Yeah, but going back to, and this actually is one of my favorite tracks. I like short tracks. I come from, since I was 5 years old, racing in bull rings on dirt. It's just all about bumping and banging and beating on each other, but in a clean way. And I would just run a nice smooth race wherever you're sitting at. Just be happy right there. Pick them off little by little. Guys are going to wear their tires out here. And just pick them off one by one.
That is definitely the case. Looks like the lights are out, so we are going to go... No, the lights are back on. I think you're right, though. The times I've raced here, the Street Stock's about the only car that it feels like Lanier has a straightaway. Everywhere else, it feels like you're turning constantly. So the tire wear is a huge issue. Lights are back out on the pace car.
Yeah, I like my short track racing. I mean, I'm not big on them cookie cutter tracks and whatnot. I mean, plate racing I'm pretty good with, but it's about making good decisions with plate racing, and a lot the same way with short track racing. So
it looks like they did extend the caution one more time, but the lights are back out. I do believe that was the final extension, so we should be going green this time, as it looks like all the leaders are packed back up after laps and guys getting back around pit stops. So here we go. Pace car is back in. Greg Holes fires. Green is back in the air. Oh, we had a car come off pit road right as they went green, too.
Yep. 61 there, it looks like.
Don Jordan, yeah. That comes as, that's going to be scary being the leader diving off into turn 1 on the green and seeing that car come off pit road. That's got to be a little unnerving the way the race is going so far, as we've got Kendrick Cryer diving to the bottom for the lead.
Yeah, and was going back with the damage model, Greg would be another good one that would benefit from this. I mean, a very clean driver, not aggressive. He doesn't wreck you to win or anything. He earns it. I think he's probably pretty content just running right now that middle line. You see, he doesn't run down on someone's door, just running his groove, and he could get down a little lower, but just playing it safe right now.
Definitely so. Kendrick Cryer, only the 3rd leader of the race so far. We're going to take our first commercial break, but you'll be able to watch the action side by side. We'll be back in just a moment from Lanier.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and e-NASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and Gerald Poole just said the damage model is more destructive than Thanos. That could be the case, but for the first time, I do believe ever, Wally Wilson has taken the lead here at Lanier. This is his first laps led in XCAL competition, Robert.
Yeah, I've never heard of him, and anytime I've been racing XCAL, so if he did make a start, it was before I came last year. By the looks of it, he could be a favorite to win here. I did notice while we were on break, Billy Snodgrass had been pretty dominant this season. Anytime he started, he was a force to be reckoned with, and he's running 2 laps down at 26 right now. And he's just not showing a lot of speed, so I don't know what's going on there with him either.
You mentioned that, and the second we looked back to him, that car was getting out of shape, out of turn 2, and it looks like even running up on that high line, that car is, and he's taking he's almost diamonding the corner right now, but, man, that car looks like the handling is just off on it.
Yeah, I mean, he's better. He's a lot better than what he's running. I gotta wonder if he's got some damage that we don't know about.
Could very well be. He is still sliding it out of the corners big time the last couple of times out of turn 4, and it looks like he's just barely holding on to it. The body's not showing any damage on the car, but you never know if he's hit something or just been smacked just right. And with this damage model, he's just the car has just gone away.
Yeah, and as you were talking there, I seen the 3 car. He was coming down on the pit road slow there. He's 4 laps down, 5 laps down probably now. I got to wonder now, since we got some rough racing in, if this damage is starting to show on some guys' cars.
Holy
it's like
cow.
Mason Foster.
Was that Albie Hewins that just stopped on the front, practically stopped on the front straightaway?
That might have been him then. I didn't know if that was him or Mason.
I think it was. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's Albie. We obviously saw him get hurt in that issue. Oh, he blew up going into turn 3.
Oh boy.
And could not get to pit road in time. Albie Hewen's night may be done, and we were talking about drivers with bad luck earlier. I think Albie probably has the worst luck of anybody in XCAL.
Edwards is coming down pit road right now. I don't know what's going on here.
Kyle Martin is also, we are within the pit window, but I mean, everybody has pitted at least once, so I'm a bit surprised unless we're hitting that point in time where we're starting to see some guys needed a little bit of fuel.
Something must have happened to Zach that I didn't see, because he's 28 laps down now, so that's Zach and Schwartz. I mean, two guys that run up towards the front, their nights are pretty much done for here now. I mean, just try to get what you can.
Yeah, Kyle Martin looks like he was struggling a bit too. I was trying to find him no, he is up in the top 5 now. Looked like he was having some issues, but you see a lot of damage on the right side of that car, and it looks like guys even smacking that outside wall or just kissing it off the turners. We've got cars around. Jeff Edgar and Brent Meckes have both wrecked. No caution yet. They are out of the racing groove.
And that's right where they're wrecked, though. That's the toughest thing to do to get going. It's very frustrating. I know Aaron wants to keep the race. Nope, there's a caution.
Oh, looks like Edgar just taps the wall, and it was enough to send him down and collect other cars. Brent Meckes also.
It's tough here. I understand why Aaron does it, though. I mean, can't keep throwing cautions after cautions, but when you get spun like that and you're down on the inside of the track or up on the outside of the corner, it is so hard and frustrating trying to get turned around. And sometimes you just say, all right, well, you're not going to throw the caution, we're going to send it, and whatever happens happens. So it's a tough situation for both sides, race control and the drivers.
Yeah, and man, that's a rough one, as we're seeing everybody on pit road again. Everybody except looks like Matt Bear is going to stay out here tonight. Noah Carpenter staying out for the moment as they start making their way back up towards the front.
Yeah, I think I was worried at the beginning of the race. Bear was pretty hot about Rocky, and I don't blame Bear either. But Bear sometimes seems like he can get so hot where he just loses the big picture and he's going to go for you. So with Rocky being out of the race now, I think that's going to put Bear back into the visual, like, okay, let's go win this race. And I think you're going to see a lot better performance out of Bear than what I thought we were going to see with Rocky now. Capiche.
Well, they don't call him the Mad Bear for nothing. He does have a little bit of a temper there, but yeah, I think he'll calm down, and it looks like Matt has come down. It looks like just about everybody is on pit road this time, and Blake Wynn looks like he might actually take the lead here.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead, Robert.
No, I was just going to say, Sean Andrews still sitting there strong in 9th. Bronson, he's on the lead lap up there. He was in the top 10 there a minute ago. Must have not gotten real bad damage there from that early incident with Friley and them from that stack up.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have at least 18, 19 cars back on the lead lap. It's been fluctuating quite a bit the last few laps. Every caution we have some go a lap down. 3 cars always getting waved back around, but man, it's been a rough one, and kind of surprised to see so few cars on the lead lap, but kind of not given the number of cautions.
Yeah, and what sucks here is, like, you get some damage, you think, okay, caution's out, I can go down pit road, get some damage fixed. You really don't have the time. I mean, you're pushing it just to take 2 tires and some fuel and come back out on the lead lap. So I think as the race goes on, we're going to see, it's going to be interesting to see with the damaged cars. And Snodgrass has to have some damage. He's been struggling, and he's a lot better than what he's performing. So
that is definitely true. And since the Ryan Seams fan club is in full effect here, Ryan now up into, looks like 7th place. Scoring will still have to settle out, but Ryan is going to be in the top 10. As we've mentioned, the scoring does get a little bit wonky here.
And deep down, I'm kind of pulling for Ryan myself. I mean, me and him have had words, but he reminds me a lot about me. I mean, just a rougher guy, just goes out and does his job, and he's been pulling some really good finishes. It'd be kind of cool to see him win tonight. I mean, it's been deserved. He's been running very strong, consistent this season, and he got real hot there mid part of the season, just pulling. I think he was like finishing like 6th or 7th like every race.
Yeah, he's definitely consistently been back up in the top 10 as the season's gone on. I think he'll definitely be a force to be reckoned with next season, be in contention for a title. And look who's back up in the lead for the first time tonight. Kyle McRecken-Martin now has the lead as they try and get this sorted out. Green flag is in the air. And Kyle Martin, the leader, restarting back on the back straightaway.
And we had some lap cars, it looks like, in front of him, maybe?
Yeah, quite a few. Tail end of the lead. We've got a car stopped on the bottom.
Yep, I just seen there.
I think that may have been Jeff Edgar. Let's take a quick look. May not have been, but I could not tell exactly who that was stopped on the bottom. No, it doesn't appear to have been Edgar. I'm not sure who that was that suddenly stopped on the bottom on the back straightaway, but we are seeing attrition start to play a big hand here, as it looks like we've got 4 or 5 cars already out of the race.
And I almost forgot about him here. Mason Foster, I believe this is where he got his first win in XCAL, and he's quietly running there in 5th, so I'd watch for him. I think he's got something.
Well, I know the J&S team definitely wants to get to victory lane tonight for Danny.
When the 61 came down on Blake. What was that in turns 3 and 4?
Let's take a look and see. It looks like they get away cleanly. But Blake is slowed down on the bottom. Let's see if we can see.
I think he broke something in his right front by the looks of it. When the contact happened, he shot straight up towards the wall.
Oh man, there was a bunch of cars stacked up there. Blake Wynn gets a little tap from behind, and wow. It's not taking much in some cases for these cars to get out. Good evening, David. How's it going?
And the big thing is maybe it can take a little bit of contact, but after a while, beating on that door panel, I mean, it might loosen something up, and away she goes.
Yeah, I am really surprised that Blake is already on pit road, too. He is not one to have a whole lot of problems, so bit of a surprise, but I think, let's take another look at Blake Wynn, because he was battling with Matt Bear. Oh, no, yeah, you're right. The 61 did come down. And that's how they ended up 3 wide, but Blake just barely gets the wall in that incident.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 61 is 4 laps down. There's nothing to fight for there, and that's what gets very irritating at places like this. Is we're supposed to show each other respect, and got to be more aware of your surroundings there. Not to pick at Dawn or anything there, but I mean, you got a lead lap car. You're off pace. Let's show a little bit of respect and just run that outside groove.
Looks like, speaking of that, the lap cars, looks like Jose Godino got into Kyle McRecken-Martin there going into turn 1.
Yep.
Kyle does have some body damage to the car, but as we've seen, it's not taking a whole heck of a lot here to damage a car.
Yeah, we only got 9 cars on the lead lap here right now, so it's getting a little interesting here.
It is. Hey, good evening, Jason. Gerald Poole dropping in to tell us it only takes a couple of smacks on the wall and it's causing steering issues tonight. That could be a real problem as this one goes on.
Yeah, I mean, and you want to call it a simulation. I mean, from driving race cars, that does happen. I mean, the old version, it was like if you smack the wall constantly, like it took quite a while to really fix anything. now it's starting to get to where you can't cheat that wall.
It's interesting that, although I can see the good and bad side of that, but man, when you talk about these are the cars that rookies start in, it could be very frustrating for a rookie, and it could make some rookie races really interesting down the line.
Yeah, I mean, it'll clean it up some, but it'll make it very frustrating too.
Hey, good evening, Jason. Seems Ryan still holding on to the top 10.
28 getting to the back of the 88. 88 came back up and hit the 7. That was Jeff Egger. And Blake Wynn's back out on track too.
Well, it's great to see Blake back out on track. Edgar is slowed down on the bottom. Looks like he is going to pit road.
Like Blake's slow too, coming down pit road. 3 fast lane cars coming into pit road at once.
The 7 of Tanner Kalin is in. He's got damage. Blake Wynn is in. Again. Wow.
Yeah, from the looks of it, it's been a rough night for fast lane for sure.
Checking to see if I got anything from Aaron in the last few minutes, just because, you know, the way this one's going, anything could really happen here tonight. And like you said early on, this could very well be the night we see a first-time winner.
Yeah, I mean, with the way the damage model's been, I mean, do you even make that last lap bump to get someone out of the way and risk ruining your car? I mean, that's where this comes down to too. I mean, the bump and run, it seems like, is kind of gone here.
That's definitely something I had not considered that, but you're absolutely right. I mean, we've seen cars just barely tap and it sends a car completely broke. So it's really a risky move as of right now to try a bump and run.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of working the way I thought. I mean, you're starting to see there's still some overly aggressive guys up front, but you got a lot of guys that are they're low incident points each week. They're clean. They're not very aggressive. They just do their thing, like Sean Patrick and Ryan Seams. They're up there running in the top 10. Never really got to race a lot with Adam Gilliott, but he's running 5th right now, and he was a newcomer here in the last few races. Tyler McRae's another guy that's clean. I mean, I know people complained about McRae, this and that, from last season, but he's always been a clean guy to race with. He's running 4th right now.
Don Jordan moving out of his way at the moment. And you're right. The top 10 is definitely a group we're not used to seeing up front. You've got Kyle Martin in the lead with Wally Wilson in 2nd, Crapser in 3rd, Tyler McRae back and 4th, and Adam Gilliott in 5th, and Kendrick Cryer, Mason Foster, Luke Turpin, Ryan Seams, and Noah Carpenter all in the top 10. Some of these drivers getting back to the lead lap, and Kyle Martin has opened up a 5.1 second lead, so he's definitely setting himself up for the long run here.
Yeah, I've raced with Kyle. He's pretty good. He's aggressive, but he's a pretty good, strong guy. I don't know if he's got an XCAL winner or not yet, but he's been close. I expect him to be up front.
It would. I think he had a win last season, but I don't believe he's had a win all season long this season. So it would be good to see. He's another one we could see in victory lane tonight. But again, you don't get a nickname like McRecken accidentally.
Yeah. He's either good to run around or just misery. It's worse than a Tuesday at times. It depends who you are and depends what mood's he in, I guess.
Could be. Adam Gilliott is in for pit stops. It looks like we're about to start a cycle of green flag pit stops. Before we do, we'll take a quick break. Stick around. You're not going to miss anything. We'll be side by side with the race. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment.
This is my good friend who had cancer when we were really little, and he was able to beat it through early detection, and now he just recently graduated from Santa Clara.
This picture's really funny. My dad was diagnosed with cancer my freshman year of high school. Thanks to early detection, he now gets to see me graduate from college.
Eight years ago, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, but thanks to early detection, I'll get to spend this Christmas with her.
My dad was diagnosed with cancer when I was 10, and he passed away soon after. Maybe if we had early detection, he would have been able to be there to walk me down the aisle.
Early detection saves lives.
Welcome back, and while we were away, you're watching the leaders. Sean Andrews had an incident. Let's take a quick look and see what happened with Sean, as it did not sound very good. He gets a bump going through 3 and 4, gets another bump, and snaps down to the inside, and looks like that car was heavily broke. He was actually riding the wall down it, Robert.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, that's like I said, though. I mean, it seems like he's a good driver at the beginning. I've seen him do the heat races, and he's very good. But it's just like he can't put them long runs together. So, Joe, go get Sean a crew chief and just let him do everything for him. Because Sean, I think, would win a race. It's just he can't put it together in the second half of the race, it seems like.
Yeah, there's a few drivers that could really benefit. And I know there's several drivers in the field that do have crew chiefs. I know that J&S, a lot of times, whoever's not in the field, they have them go up and spot and crew chief. And it really seems to benefit the teams that can do that. Green flag stops are underway. Kyle Martin in the lead, and we did get confirmation. McRecken has never won a race in XCAL competition, so, you know, there's a lot of guys up here. All of a sudden, they could get their first wins here tonight.
You know, typically with an XCAL race, you can look at the top 5, 6, 7 cars right now at this point and say, okay, those guys are going to be, you know, those are going to be the guys that's going to be racing for the win. The only one I can honestly say, well, two I can honestly say that I picture racing for the win right now is Crapser and McRae. The other guys I don't know about, but this is still anyone's race.
Two drivers may just have been out of this. Billy Snodgrass and Tanner Kalin just had an incident. Let's see what happened here. Oh, it looks like the 062 just gets a bump from behind. They get together, both spin to the inside wall, both hard on the brakes. Not sure if we had any. Tanner ends up having to tow to pit road, and Billy's his getting that car turned around was interesting, but he got it done.
I wonder if Snodgrass and Tanner had a little incident earlier, because I mean, looked a little aggressive, but I could be wrong.
They were definitely glove tapping.
Yeah, there was no give there.
Ryan Seams is giving up ninth to come to pit road, and it looks like somebody, I'm trying to figure out who it is in the top 10, is starting to blink really badly. I think it might have been Kendrick. I'm trying to keep an eye on him here for a minute. You know, we've seen this in the past as well, where patch week, a lot of connectivity issues.
I know Carpenter's having some connection issues along with Art Hendren, it looks like a little bit, if you look at their ping and quality. Yeah, I mean, I cringe. Every time there's an update from iRacing, I cringe because I wonder what is it going to screw up and what do I got to go back and reset.
Just getting word also, Nick Seams, who's off in college, is doing really good in college, but he is missing iRacing and XCAL. Nick, I hope everything's going well for you, buddy. Wally Wilson takes the lead for the first time tonight when McRecken goes to pit road. This guy, brand new racer, up 35 spots to take the lead, and it looks like Jeff Edgar and Don Jordan have crashed. Let's take a look at that replay.
It's right up there in that wall.
Looks like Don gets under Jeff. They touch on the back straightaway. I think Jeff got a little annoyed there because he came back down, and wow, they really stack up, but they keep rolling out of the groove, and both of them get going with no caution.
Here's a caution now.
Now it looks like Don Jordan had some further incidents after that. He was riding the wall down the front straightaway into turn one. He couldn't get the car turned down.
So, do you think people are going to be mad after this race? Like, how do you think the Discord is going to be in XCAL?
Well,
we're going to have one happy guy, and then, you know, what is it? 36 more unhappy people, I think, tonight.
I think we're going to have everybody. Oh, and it looks like, I think that was Brad Ebley actually gets into Don Jordan off turn 2 before Don finally tows. I don't know. I don't even know if the winner tonight will be that happy, to be perfectly honest, because depending on who it is, they may have been bumped, banged, and beat all to crap by then.
Yeah, I think he's going to be more relieved than anything.
That's probably a fair statement, as Alex Crapser takes the lead and goes to pit road. Sean Patrick and Stephen Rex still out, but I think we're going to see, as we've seen in the previous cautions, just about everybody hits pit road at some point. It's just a matter of timing.
Yeah, I want to point out, too, John Friley said about him maybe having issues before, but he might have been onto something. I mean, he is 6 laps down, but he's in the money. He's in 20th place right now. And I believe he's a top Fastlane car, which usually doesn't happen with Fastlane, but John is he's the MVP tonight here with Fastlane running 20th.
Man, you know what? It may, this night is far from over. We're not even at the halfway point. We've got, 5 or 6 cars already out of the race. So it's a very good possibility that any driver that's just holding out, trying to ride around, getting some laps in, is going to end up in the money before the night's out. In fact, it looks like Tanner Kalin is out now too. So looks like only 30 cars left in the field at the moment.
There's going to be a shake-up in the points, and it's, like I said, I mean, the guys are going to be, who do you get mad at? Do you get mad at iRacing for giving you a crappy damage setup here, or do you get mad at the guy that gave you a bump? I mean, that's the more frustrating part.
That is,
you don't know who to blame.
That is actually a legitimate question. Kenny Tripp just asked, hey, when we talk to the winner, ask him how many incident points they have. Because that may be a very, very good question to ask. I don't know that anybody's walking away from here with 0.
Yeah, that might be the only happy person, is if they walk away with 0. I'm looking and I see that there's still probably 17, 18 guys, I say. Don't count them out yet. I mean, they're 4 or 5 laps down, but this is such a small track. I mean, you can come back from that. Petey was having some problems earlier. He's running up towards the top 10. He's about 3 or 4 laps down.
Yeah, and he's overdue for a win too. He's been so close and getting better every week.
Yeah, he came in strong there, mid part of the season. When Zach Edwards won all them races, just J&S was showing very solid finishes for everybody. And I think other teams have caught up to that now, and the intensity has gone up. But they're still putting out some good finishes here.
Well, Noah Carpenter is back in the lead. Alex Crapser is in second. Crapser actually further ahead on the track right now, as Noah Carpenter is about a half a lap behind the pace car. Crapser is 2 cars behind the pace car in second place. It just gets so weird here at times, and as a driver, I mean, I've not been in this situation personally. As a driver, does that really mess with you, knowing that the way that it falls right before a restart?
Towards the end of the race, it makes you wonder where you're going to be and what you want to do. But like right now, I mean, there's these younger kids in here, and they think they should be in first place right now on lap 1. To me, like, we're 190 laps or so in. It is what it is. Now you know what's going to happen throughout the race. Put yourself in a different position, maybe mix some things up with strategy. But right now's not a time to worry about.
Well, it is time to check out our new blimp sponsor tonight. Our new sponsor on board is Telesign. They make all sorts of digital and physical signs. If you're interested, email them. And I lost my note. I can't even read my own hand. Telesign.graphics@gmail.com. Get hooked up and they will take care of all your sign needs. And yeah, you can see from the blimp, they are just, it gets a little dicey for Noah Carpenter as Mason Foster right on his bumper, and he's getting in. Everybody's beating and banging as we go through 1 and 2. Oh, we've got a car in the wall.
And that has got to be the most frustrating thing, because with the way the damage is, and you can't touch the guy the wrong way, it's so frustrating.
It looks like Kyle Martin, who was in 4th place at the time, was the driver that ended up in the wall, and now he's giving some taps to the car ahead of him. We've got cars sideways all over the track. This is crazy.
Teammates battling for 5th place there, both 1 lap down.
This is a bit nuts the way this race is playing out here late in the going, and there you see McRecken gets another bump from behind. But a huge shout out and thank you to Telesign for coming on board for our blimp, as Noah Carpenter continues to lead and gets a little breathing room, although he is gaining on Matt Baer. And Matt, currently in 11th, is probably going to fight pretty hard. He's 1 lap down to not lose another lap.
I see right now, I mean, guy, he's usually not paying attention to a whole lot throughout the season. Sean Patrick, he's running 8th right now, a lap down. Oh, and we got to pile up with teammates.
Yeah, Turpin was completely sideways.
I seen Bronson was involved in there too.
Yeah, they were giving each other some taps there. It looks like now that the leaders are the guys that are about to lose a lap are doing everything they can to hold on to it as the leaders are coming around. Now only 4 cars left on the lead lap, and once Noah Carpenter clears Luke Turpin, he's going to have some clean track ahead to get away for a few moments.
I seen Bronson, he was coming back down on pit road. I just don't understand something. Well, that 28, he's really cutting. Wally Wilson, he's cutting down on that apron. He's using every bit of the racetrack right now.
Might be a smart strategy trying to get everything he can at this point in the race, but you really got to question you know, we saw that incident very early on with the inside wall, and it just took out 2 cars very quickly. And the 54 of Kyle Martin is just all over his back bumper. There is no cooperation and patience or respect there. And now Matt Bear up on the high side. This could get ugly.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame Wally for wanting to get Bear out of the way because he's got Kyle Martin down his throat. I mean, just beating on him. So, I mean, what do you do? Let him by. I mean, they're beating still.
Oh my
Bear's
God.
mad. Bear's mad. Now Martin says, hey, you know what? Okay, I'm going to watch for my teammate now.
Oh! Martin gets into both of them there.
Yeah, he says, you know, anyone going to hit my teammate is going to be me, not you.
Oh, Kyle may end up in the wall. No, Matt Bear goes up the track a little bit.
And that's the temper right there. That Bear's the one that got the short stick there. That's the temper kicking in. You can't be doing that. Just let it go.
Especially with what we're seeing out of this damage, Molly's not taking much of that beating to mess up a car here. Wally Wilson now back up in the top 5. Noah Carpenter still has the lead and now some clear track, but Mason Foster all over his back bumper trying to get his lap back, and Noah just lets him go there. Smart move by Noah.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with that kid. Noah, he came in later in the season. I guess he's a pretty young kid. I think he come in around Sobo or something. Been fast and good and seems like a nice kid. So, I mean, I expect to see him if he comes back next year, see some good things out of him. I mean, he could even get a win tonight, but if not this year, I mean, next year he's going to get a win.
That is definitely going to be the case. He has put on every race, especially these short tracks. It takes, as you've mentioned more than once, it takes a lot of patience here and not losing your temper. And he's been hit a couple of times, and he's just lost connection.
Noah Carpenter?
Yeah. He's back now. He had disappeared for the better part of a lap. That could be a problem.
Aaron ain't going to like that. I mean, well, I shouldn't say he ain't going to like that. I think Aaron likes to say, you know what, we're going to make it interesting now. You're leading, you blinking, you gone. So,
Crapser currently runs in second, 5.5 seconds back. Kendrick Cryer now in third. And you know what? While they are running, and it's at least for the moment under green, let's go ahead and get a full field rundown here. Brought to you by Alloy Wheel Repair Specialists. Go check them out. Noah Carpenter currently has the lead. Alex Crapser in second. Kendrick Cryer currently runs in third. Some big gaps in the top 5. Tyler McRae in fourth. Newcomer Wally Wilson running in fifth. Kyle McRecken Martin has had an exciting night back in sixth. Stephen Rex, haven't really talked about him tonight, but here he is up in seventh now. Sean Patrick currently runs in 8th place. Greg Holes currently in 9th, and Luke Turpin, despite that turn earlier, Superman runs in 10th. The Mad Bear currently in 11th place, with PDJ Zeller starting to come back in 12th. Ryan Seams, quite possibly the biggest fan club out there, in 13th at the moment. Mason Foster runs 14th. Adam Gilliott currently in 15th, and Jose Godino having a great run tonight, so far up to 16th. Jim Johnson, who got pushed towards the back early on, now back in 17th, making his way forward. Billy Snodgrass has been up and down all night. He currently runs in 18th. John Friley, we mentioned the earlier incident, but he was several laps down, but he's now back up into 19th. Blake Wynn, after his earlier incident, currently in 20th, trying to make his way forward again. Jonathan Bronson might be blinking. It looks like Bronson might be out. Colson.
He is.
Yep, he has officially dropped. Derek Colson in 22nd. Brent Meckus in 23rd at the moment. Chris Johnson currently runs 24th, and it looks like he might be struggling a little bit here. After picking up 11 spots, Zach Edwards, who was up front leading early on, now back in 25th. Matt Pelletier is out. Brad Eblay out on pit road. Don Jordan on pit road. Sean Andrews on pit road. Jeff Edgar on pit road. And then all the way back, the rest of that field is currently out of the race.
Yeah, and there's some good guys. I mean, Austin Edwards going for a championship this year. I think he's pretty good, but the number 18 car is 36 out of 37 cars. That's a tough hit.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one. He's going to get some points out of it, but it ain't going to be a lot tonight. I think, like you said, he's pretty good with 3 races left to go, but man, it's going to be a rough night for some of these teams.
Yeah, it's tough scene.
Well, while we're under green flag, let's take our commercial break. We'll be back with you in just a moment. We'll go side by side. You won't miss a moment.
This is my good friend who had cancer when we were really little, and he was able to beat it through early detection, and now he just recently graduated from Santa Clara.
This picture's really funny. My dad was diagnosed with cancer my freshman year of high school. Thanks to early detection, he now gets to see me graduate from college.
Eight years ago, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, but thanks to early detection, I'll get to spend this Christmas with her.
My dad was diagnosed with cancer when I was 10, and he passed away soon after. Maybe if we had early detection, he would have been able to be there to walk me down the aisle.
Early detection saves lives.
All right, we are back. Still under green. Alex Krapser on pit road. Looks like we are under our first real full run of green flag pit stops here, Robert.
Yeah, it's been a little while, so now things are going to come out. Okay, you stayed out if you stayed out on that last caution, how bad did you screw yourself? Because you're going to go multiple laps down now, for sure. I mean, we got 4 cars on the lead lap right now.
Actually, with Crapser just coming in, we're down to 3 cars on the lead lap now. And we've seen this before at Southern National where we were down to 1 or 2 cars on the lead lap, but a series of cautions in the last half of the race ended up bringing like 15 or 20 back to the lead lap really quickly. Although, as you and I were talking about on the break with this damage model, that may not happen tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be fine pitting now under green, lose some laps, whatever. I mean, we're on lap 244 out of 450. Be honest with you, the less time you spend on the track, the safer you are, the way it's been looking. So, I think be all right here.
Well, I think these guys that have been up front and managed to keep it clean, I think Noah Carpenter's strategy, we've seen him let other cars by just to not get into the mix. I think those guys will be okay. I think some of these guys back here that have been beating and banging, we saw Wally Wilson getting into it with McRecken earlier. Those guys have got to be more careful about that. Their teammates and, they... They definitely don't want to be tearing up cars. As Tyler McRae is now on pit road.
That's one thing with Carpenter. That's what I like about that kid. He's young, and that's what he needs to do. A young kid, he knows the surroundings. He's not going to battle you. If the car's faster than you, just let him go by. He's leading the race. That's why I like the kid. Unlike some of these other ones, they're like, oh no, I got to be in front of you. Even if the car's like 15 laps down, they still want to be in front of that guy. So that's why I like that kid.
Well, he has definitely done a great job so far since joining XCAL and doing a great job here tonight. You definitely have a lot of reason to be impressed with him. And, we haven't talked about it, but as we're seeing these guys come to pit road, this pit road is definitely a tricky one. Getting into pit road, getting off pit road is not easy, but then you have to drive all the way around the pit road. So if you're coming out of your pit box and somebody's coming in, you could have problems on pit road.
Yeah, and then every time we come here and we race and then they remind us about that rule, I start to wonder, like, am I doing this right, or should I drive around another time? Because sometimes you get lost here. I mean, it's a small track, but you can get lost in the shuffle very easy.
Yeah, definitely with guys when you start seeing big groups come in 2 and 3 at a time, and you've got guys coming off 2 or 3 at a time, it'd be very, very easy to lose where you're at, where you need to be going, and cause confusion. As Kendrick Cryer now in second is quite a ways behind the leader now, almost 9 seconds back. Noah Carpenter's just he's putting a whooping on him tonight.
Yeah, and Kendrick, he's one of the first ones to pop in my head whenever we talk about the last lap bump and run, because back, I think it was USA last year, he moved Craftsper out of the way, and it was a little debatable. I mean, in my eyes, I think it was good. I would have rather seen Craftsper win, in all honesty. But, I mean, it was a little debatable on how he moved him. Now with this new damage model, someone like that, does he make that move again?
I seriously doubt it tonight, but you bring up that USA race. I remember that one simply for the fact that Kendrick finished in the lead on right side with his right sides on the wall. He was literally driving down the wall, pushing Crapser out of the way. That was one of the craziest finishes I'd ever seen. Kendrick, it comes down to the last lap. He's going to do what has to be done, but right now, he's got to catch up first.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I mean, I say it's good just because it's the last lap. This is an XCAL race. If you can win an XCAL race, you've proven that you're one of the best in the street stocks, because XCAL, it has some of the best talent in street stocks. So if you can win one of these races, it's a big thing.
It really is, especially when you consider the average I rating in the field. When you average it out, it's right around 3,000 to 3,500, and that's tonight, with the drivers in the field tonight. So it's these are not guys that are just in your everyday races. These are some of the elite drivers on iRacing as a whole. So you get out here and beat 40 of these guys, you've accomplished something.
Remember getting brought in here last year, first Sobo race. It was my first start, and I was just like, wow, I mean, some of these guys, I mean, how are they doing this or that? And it makes you want to push and everything. Some of these guys amaze you with how fast they can be for so long. And to finish a top 20, that's what I always, whenever I had my team or when I drove for Jeff Egger last year, my goal was just to finish top 20. If I can be in the top 20, the rest of the spots will come to me. Anything else is good. And that's what a lot of these guys need to have a mindset with right now.
Especially this late in the season with so many close points battles on the line. You definitely, as Mason Foster makes the dive to pit road, you definitely got to be paying attention to who you're racing around it. And, you know, that patience, as we've seen in a lot of recent races, has really paid off. Got to give credit to everybody. I think 2 weeks ago at Rockingham was the first time an XCAL race has ever gone green to checkers, no caution flags. So, and then it came down to a last lap battle as well. So, you know, when you can pull that off Noah gets way loose out of 4. If you can pull that off at a place like Rockingham where your tires are just being chewed alive, you've got something. And Noah Carpenter blinking again, as I think he's trying to set up. He is on pit road.
Yeah, right now would be a good time for him to fix that blinking. I do believe we went caution-free at Auto Club before that because I was in that race, and I know I screwed myself because I ran out of fuel in the last lap and threw away a top 15 finish. So I think we've had 2 green flag races this year in XCAL. And we came close last year at Phoenix. Yeah, that's right. It came very close at Phoenix. In fact, as I recall, that was the one and only time, at least since the year and a half or 2 years I've been broadcasting XCAL, that was the only time that we had a green-white checkered restart because of the way that felt. Yeah, I remember Luke Turpin got wrecked out because I just remember it because I know he had to go around me, but I don't think he had a right front. I think he was trying to finish the race on 3 wheels. Something like that. But. Yeah, and look at this. For the first time tonight and the first time in a while, Steven Rex has gone to the lead. He's going to get some bonus points here tonight. Great job by him getting up here and getting some extra bonus points tonight. He's got a win coming here soon because, I mean, I've been watching him all season. He's been very impressive. He's been there. I think he's more of one of the underrated guys as he's coming in now. But, oh, no, he messed up. Oh, no, he overshoots pit entry. Oh, that is a bit heartbreaking. Oh, we've got a wreck on the front straightaway. Caution's out, and it's Billy Snodgrass and Alex Krapser. That might be what Steven Rex need. I mean, it's a broadcaster's curse then, because I'll take the blame on that one, because I was talking about him. But Rex makes very little mistakes, and he's usually pretty clean. Very consistent driver. He's actually one of my favorite guys coming in tonight. I think with the way the damage model is, the way he drives, and his strategy, he's going to be a guy that could have a very good chance of coming out on top. Looks like Billy was just getting the run off 4, came up into the 3 car, gets turned around into the wall, and Krapser has nowhere to go. I think Krapser, very minor impact into that. He managed to get that car woed up in time, so he may be okay, and you may be right about Steven Rex, as he's currently still scored in the lead as he makes his way. No, he has not been to his pit box yet. He just is now, or he's on pit road now, it looks like. Yeah. Either way, I think the caution saved him, because that was a big mistake to make on a long green flag round. You can't sacrifice any little bit. Steven Rex came in tonight 15th in points, so getting those laps led is really going to help him out here. And, you know, he had stayed out long enough, and like you said, that caution really played into his hands, so it's a huge, huge benefit to Rex. Yeah, and right now it looks like in second place, Greg Halls, I mean, he fell back. He was a couple laps down. Now he's back up in the second. Now third is saying he scored, but Greg's right back up in there. Another good guy. It's just had some tough luck this season, but things are working in his favor.
Kendrick Cryer now back up into second as it looks like the vast majority of pit stops were completed under green. That's really going to help a couple of guys who had stayed out. Greg Hull, Stephen Rex, Jim Johnson, Alex Crapser. They're getting their pit stops out of the way. Jim Johnson currently scored in 10th. He had stayed out long enough to play that card. He may come out the biggest winner in this one.
Yeah, I'm liking the way the top 10's looking because, like I said, with this new setup that iRacing did here with the damage model and stuff, it's showing the clean drivers will come out on top, and a lot of us, these older guys, James Johnson, Stephen Rex, Sean Patrick, Greg Halls, Tyler McRae, these older guys that they understand you can't win the race on the first lap, and they're here now. It's lap 281, something like that. I mean, they're up there and they're competitive and they have a chance to win the race.
You know what? The old guys always come out on top because we're just wiser.
It's like, when I was young, I mean, I always was wondering, my dad, talking about the old guys, they know more, this and that, and now that I'm old, I mean, I'm seeing the product here.
That is definitely the truth. Although, I will have to say, we did have to learn the hard way that the old guys were always right.
Yeah, I still don't like telling my dad that he's right, so.
I don't either. All right, as we work this caution, it is Noah Carpenter, Tyler McRae, Kyle McRecken Martin in the top three. It looks like Wally Wilson and Greg Holes are in position to get waved around. Kendrick Cryer might also get the other wave. He is working his way off pit road now, so we'll have to see how it falls. But hey, that's going to put Greg Holes back on the lead lap. That would be... no, we are back to green.
Like Jose had a little bit of a problem. I don't know if he thought he had to get around the 45 or the 45 checked up. He came up a little bit. And Tanner Kalin's back out there racing in the number 7 car.
Great to see him back. It is a little bit heartbreaking because Tanner, when he came in earlier this season, he was really fast, but it just gets caught up in an early incident and sends him all the way back to 31st, but still quite a bit of time to go here. He could still make up some ground.
I've had the pleasure of working with Tanner, and he's a really nice guy, just laid back, aggressive race car driver, a hell of a setup builder. It was nice to see him win at Texas Road Course. He did set the record of incident points, I believe. I don't know if that's been broken yet. It'd be hard to break. I also don't know if I want to be known for that record, but really nice guy, laid back, good guy to talk to.
Another driver who is definitely, you mentioned it earlier, he was 6 laps down and just cruising, but now up into 18th place, up 9 spots. John Friley continues making his way forward. Ryan Seams in 17th place, a couple laps ahead, but Friley has just been picking it up a little bit at a time. I'm a bit surprised to see Seams back as far as he is. He's been in the top, I think the lowest he had been prior to now was about 13th, and he had kept in the fight, but still a lot of time to go to make up some ground here.
It's so frustrating because you get lost on pit strategy. You go 3 laps down here, you lose another 3 laps there, and then it builds up. So somewhere like here, the more you can stay out whenever that caution comes out, the better. Because you're going to lose 1 to 2 laps under caution, pitting, depending on what you have to do. You're going to lose 3 to 4 laps under green flag stops. 54 is pinching the 960 down there.
He is. The 960 getting completely sideways as...
That's to go a lap down right now.
Yeah,
he's balancing on the lead lap.
Yeah, Kyle doing everything he can to keep the lead lap, and including knocking the crap out of the leader there a couple of times. But he just shot him up the track.
It doesn't make sense to be doing that right now. I mean, unless you're just gunning for Noah. I mean, he's if he goes a lap down now, he's still safe to get the wave around. All you did is just ruffle some feathers. Now you got another JNS car behind you, and Ryan, he ain't gonna put up with that. He's gonna take you. He's gonna move you. You just messed with his teammate. I mean, not a very smart move by Kyle, but like you said, I guess Got his nickname for a reason.
Well, Ryan definitely benefits from that because he gets back a lap as well, and currently runs in 17th, trying to run down Alex Crapser, and he is gaining on Crapser right now. So you never know what's going to happen here. Ryan might be starting to make his march back toward the front as well.
And Noah's sitting in a really good spot now anyway, so Kyle just did him a favor because he's got a J&S car in front of him, a J&S car behind him, both pretty good, respectful guys, Mason and Ryan. They know how to treat it, and I think they'll work with them. It's going to be tough for McRae to pull 3.5 second lead. It looks like he's actually grown his lead on him, so...
Yeah, Tyler McRae back in second, 3.5 seconds. I mean, I don't think he's gaining a whole lot, and he's got a lot of lap traffic in there, including Jim Johnson, who's now up in 8th place, up 7 spots, and early on he was up here in the top 10, but got moved up the track and lost about 10 spots. So he has managed to fight his way back up here and doing a great job here tonight.
Yeah, it's just cool to see these guys that you swear they're going to be out of contention or they're in contention. Steven Rex was leading before that last caution. He's 5 laps down now in 13th, but you can see he could easily get that back with just a mistake.
Yeah, it definitely would not take much. Speaking of mistake, it looks like Brad Eblay has had an incident on track. Let's take a quick look at the replay. Oh, Brad way up in the wall. He was blowing up. I know I'd seen him have some contact earlier. He tries to get down, but I'm guessing he got the wall one time too many, it looks like.
Yeah, that I seen earlier he'd gotten some contact and whatnot, and that's the thing you got to put in perspective. Is take care of your car early, and then you can't win the race at the beginning. So just take care of your car and use them hits for later.
All right, lap 305 underway. Noah Carpenter still leads in the mix of lap traffic. We'll take a quick break and be back in just a moment.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and eNASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
All right, we are back. Noah Carpenter still in the lead. Kyle Martin back on the lead lap. 3 cars have the lead lap at the moment. And, you know, we were talking about old school NASCAR. You got to give XCAL credit. This does take you back to the way things used to be in NASCAR.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's, you know, kind of that sissy racing. I mean, there's bumping and banging and moving. And then the Discord's just as interesting after. See who's mad and who's not and what's going to happen next week.
That is definitely true. And it looks like Brent Meckes and Albie Hewins have both had a problem here in the last moment. Let's take a quick look. Here is Brent Meckes in the 66. Going through 3 and 4 up on the high side. And I'm willing to bet, oh, he just blinked completely out. Let's see what Albie's issue is here. I doubt Albie was blinking. We've never seen him have a connection issue, but tonight would not surprise me, to be perfectly honest. Albie down off into 3 and 4 under Jose, and Albie's blinking too.
It's he's one of the cleaner, consistent guys I trust when I was around him racing, and good hard racer. I seen he had some troubles earlier tonight too, but I was looking. Blake Lynn had all that trouble. And this is a great showing of don't quit. He's back up in the 19th place, running right behind his teammate in 18th, John Friley. So just tonight's just a pure bloodbath.
It really kind of is. And these guys that, as we talked about earlier, these guys that have stuck it out just continue to march their way forward, picking them off one at a time, either by attrition or just being a little bit faster or a little bit smarter.
Yeah, I sadly here, no Carpenter, he's been leading, but we're at lap 327 or so here. It's too good to be true. I mean, I hate to say, I mean, I still think one of them old guys are going to come through.
Oh.
They know more.
Noah and Kyle just decided to have a little discussion through 1 and 2, and it looks like Noah's going to come out on top, but Kyle, I don't think Kyle's done with this one yet. Noah got loose underneath of him. They leaned on each other off 1 and 2.
Seeing there, Noah's like I said, I'm pulling for him deep down, but he's still young. Does he know enough to finish off the job? I mean, and Kyle and him have had fenders discussed earlier throughout the race, and we know Kyle, he decides to send it. He's just going to send it. He don't care who he takes with him.
Yeah, Kyle is definitely one of a kind. You know, he races, as I told you on the break, Monday nights he races on the Jones BS Racing League, and he gets aggressive out there as well. He's good looking to lock up his title next week, but oftentimes with Kyle, it's either checkers or wreckers. And tonight, man, with the damage model, and he gets right into Noah's bumper that time. This damage model, I don't know how much beating and banging I'd be doing.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really make sense for Kyle right now. He's the first car lap down. He's running third place. Why throw away a good solid night? We know there's going to be another caution. There has to be another caution. Why be that caution? Just sit where you're at. Just run right with Noah. You don't have to battle him. You can stay out. You get your lap back, and then you're back in contention.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Noah just blinked out again. Hopefully his connection will recover, because right now, there he is. Okay, he is back. Aaron's going to be watching that one closely. It would be heartbreaking for Noah to lose it here just due to a connection issue.
Aaron's got his fingers all warmed up. He's waiting for that heartbreaking moment to say, hey, I've given you chances. Go to pit road and fix it.
Leaders coming by Jose Godino. They've had a few laps here of clean racetrack, but that's about to go away, as there is a big mess of lap cars just ahead. The 5, Derek Colson, Kyle Martin and Derek Colson get together. Colson, you saw him move up, almost lose the car to stay out of Carpenter's way, but McRecken comes up and gives him a little love tap.
Yeah, Kyle's driving a little reckless, and like I said, it's kind of stupid the way he's doing it. I mean, he's in a very good spot. Just relax in your race. He's obviously got a fast enough car to compete. It's just he's running way too reckless.
Newcomer Wally Wilson up 32 spots into fourth. We talked about him earlier. Greg Holes up 23 spots right now into fifth. Kendrick Cryer currently runs in sixth. He's got a little bit of breathing room. Sean Patrick in seventh. Jim Johnson having a great run tonight in that EHP car in eighth. Mason Foster, we saw him have issues earlier. He's made his way back up into ninth. And Adam Gilliott has just been lurking. He's had issues as well, but has just kind of marched his way back up. And now this battle, Mason Foster, Kendrick Cryer, man, things are about to heat up here. A lot of guys on different laps, different strategies, and several battles going on all around this group.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take anyone out right now from 13th on up. I mean, PD's 7 laps down, 14th. I don't see him getting all 7 of his laps back, but anyone 5 laps down right now, I still think there's a chance. It's a long shot, but 13th on up, I think he's still got a shot.
Well, PD in 14th, Jose Godino in 15th. Not PD's best run, but man, one of Jose's best runs of the season. Alex Krapser has drifted back into 16th after his earlier issues and getting repaired. Ryan Seams back in 17th has been caught on pit road during the last couple of a couple of his pit stops tonight have caught him on pit road just perfectly wrong to send him back there, but he is actually gaining on Krapser right now to get 16th and not far behind Godino either. So I would expect to see Seams move back up. We've seen him get caught down a couple of times this season, and he keeps working his way forward. And of course, Friley and Blake Wynn, both 18th and 19th, continue to make their way forward after issues earlier. And Chris Johnson up 15 spots into 20th. I haven't talked about Chris much tonight. He's not really been making any waves, been in any major issues. He's just kind of riding around tonight.
Yeah, Chris, he's been running consistent. I know earlier in the year he was running a little reckless, if I remember right. But I think he got a suspension from XCAL too, just because of being so reckless. But he's a good guy, running really good right now. I mean, like I said, 20th place finish. If you can finish 20th on up in XCAL, that's a win to me. The competition's very steep here.
It really is. And yeah, he was aggressive, and it did get him a 3-week suspension. He has calmed down a lot. His finishes have shown that he's calmed down a lot. He's just got to find that rhythm. The holy cow, as Mason Foster gets a tap from Adam Gilliott, and Chris Johnson starts looking to the bottom. You know, Chris, the owner of JR Button Boxes, who outfits EHP, and I know a lot of other teams around here as well. And Chris, I need a new button box, buddy.
You might have to order me one of them here sometime. I see you make some button boxes. I definitely need some more buttons to push.
I do too. In fact, my original button box I've had for a couple of years, and it's been through a couple of moves recently. The brake bias knob no longer works, and I could probably open it up and fix it, but you know what? I just kind of like to get something new, and I want one of those push start buttons. I don't need it. I don't need the ignition switch and the push button, but man, those are just too cool not to have.
Yeah, there's some nights though. It's nice just to have that automatic turn on because you know, I've been drinking a few too many, and I probably would forget to turn it on.
Yeah, I could see myself doing that as well, although it would be handy for saving fuel. And we've seen these guys in the past. We've seen guys up in the front of the group that we get down to late laps. They're killing the ignition, coasting around the track at times just to save enough fuel to make it to the end.
I seen Mark Carpenter in the Facebook chat. He was asking if there's a way to fix ping without disconnecting, and the only thing I can offer is if he's living in your house, y'all quit using the internet and let the boy go. Just everyone quit Googling, buying stuff off Amazon. Just let the boy use the internet. Let him go win the race.
Yeah, I usually, if I'm having issues, I'll turn everything off Wi-Fi I possibly can and just let it go.
Turn down all your apps on your phone. Just
obviously keep the broadcast running though.
Yeah, you gotta watch the broadcast. But go to your neighbor's house and watch it.
You know, that brings up a funny story. I've worked in IT for 16 years, and the company I previously worked for, we had a guy that could not get his VPN to connect one night, and the standard resolution was, hey, reboot your modem, but he couldn't because he was leeching internet from his neighbors.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about internet. I know I pay for it, and then when it's not working, I unplug it and plug it back in, and if it don't work, then I can make a phone call. That's what I know.
Yep. Noah Carpenter still has the lead. Tyler McRae currently running in second. Kyle Martin has lost a touch. Oh, wait a minute. Here comes Noah into pit road. Oh, Noah gets a little bit loose but manages to save it. Adam Gilliott almost got the tires on the way in as green flag pit stops underway. And we talked about 85-ish laps. I think this might be final stops for everybody.
Yeah, we need to keep it green here now, from here on out, and I think Noah would be all right. This is where it comes down to now. Like McRae, he was running second. Now he's leading the race. When does McRae come in? He's banking on a caution. But this is where a lot of these guys are, with these green flag laps. The guys that were down, like I said, 13th on up, multiple laps down, they're going to get laps back here and be back in this thing.
Yeah, these guys that are further back, they need, while the leaders are on pit road or immediately... Oh, we've got two cars stacked up at the entrance to pit road.
Ooh, it looks like Friley, was that Friley?
Colson was involved in that, and I'm not sure if it was Friley or not.
Seen a car smoking come out of the hood. Is Carpenter out of the pits? Because that could hurt holding up pit road there.
Let's see. Here's Colson coming to pit road. Looks like he taps the wall and... Oh, who... Let's stop the replay and see if I can figure out who the heck that is. I think you're right. I think that may be Friley. Nope, Friley was out on track. I cannot tell who that was on pit road with him, but man... They just had a rough moment there, and that was what you were talking about a moment ago, is you can't make any mistakes this late in the race.
Yeah, I'm liking where I see Carpenter right now. He's 3 laps down. He's running for his place. He's in the perfect position now. If these pit stops cycle back around, he'll be out front, and he's on newer tires. If this all works out, he's going to grow his lead. I think it was about 7 seconds from McRae when he pits, so it's going to grow out. But Greg, he's running second right now. Or now Greg's the leader, so McRae must have just pit.
Yep, McRae's on pit road, and Sean Patrick hit pit road, so Noah's back up into third. But
1 lap down, too.
Yeah, and Greg Holes just came to pit road, so it looks like Noah Carpenter is going to cycle back into the lead pretty quickly here. Wall green flag pit stop. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, this is all working out into his favor, and yeah.
Well, let's let pit stop cycle through. We'll bring you up to speed when we get back. We'll be back with you in just a moment. Enjoy the final commercial.
This is my good friend who had cancer when we were really little, and he was able to beat it through early detection, and now he just recently graduated from Santa Clara.
This picture's really funny. My dad was diagnosed with cancer my freshman year of high school. Thanks to early detection, he now gets to see me graduate from college.
"8 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, but thanks to early detection, I'll get to spend this Christmas with her."
My dad was diagnosed with cancer when I was 10, and he passed away soon after. Maybe if we had early detection, he would have been able to be there to walk me down the aisle.
Early detection saves lives.
And we are back, and right now Noah Carpenter has lapped the entire field. There is one car on the lead lap, and you got to look back and see where Tyler McRae is a straightaway behind in second place.
Yeah, I mean, if a caution comes out, that's the only thing that's going to help McRae, but with as fast as Carpenter's been, I don't see anything happening. And he's in another good spot. He's got Zach Edwards in front of him, Ryan Seams behind him, both teammates, both smart race car drivers. Zach's going to take care of Noah, and I think so is Ryan.
It's definitely going to be an interesting play out here to see how things wind down with just 60 laps to go. Let's go through the field one more time, show you where all your favorite drivers are. And, who is left, because attrition has been a big one tonight. Noah Carpenter leads the field by an entire lap. Tyler McRae in second, a lap down and half a straightaway behind. Wally Wilson currently runs in third place, having a great run here tonight. Greg Holes up 24 spots into fourth, one of his best runs of the season, doing a great job here. Kendrick Cryer currently running in fifth place, also having a great run tonight. Jim Johnson in sixth place. That a boy, Jim. Keep it up. Mason Foster currently runs in seventh place. He's having a good run tonight and had a great comeback from earlier. Adam Gilliott, another one that had problems earlier, has made a good comeback into eighth. Sean Patrick back in ninth, having also a great run. And look at this. Matt Bear, who's had problem after problem tonight, currently runs in 10th. Luke Turpin holds on to 11th place. Stephen Rex currently runs in 12th. PDJ Zeller now up into 13th. Alex Krapser currently runs 14th, and Jose Godino continues to have one of his best runs in 15th. Ryan Seams has started picking up positions again. He is back up in 16th. John Friley cruising around just trying to save the car, currently runs in 17th. Blake Wynn in 18th. Kyle McRecken Martin is back on pit road, currently scored in 19th. And Chris Johnson currently running in 20th, having one of his best runs since his 3-week suspension. Zach Edwards currently runs in 21st. Brent Mekas sitting in 22nd. Derek Colson, after his pit road incident, in 23rd. Albie Hewins, you got to give that guy credit for sticking it out. He is holding on to 24th. Billy Snodgrass is out. Tanner Kalin out. Robbie Keneally currently runs in 27th, looking to pick up several spots here over the last of this race. Jonathan Bronson out. Brad Eblay on pit road, hoping to get back out. Matt Pelletier, Don Jordan, Sean Andrews, Jeff Egger, Jonathan Schwartz, Rocky Boyd, Mike Ashby, Art Hendren, all out of the race here tonight. that has got to be one of the highest number of attritions we have ever seen.
Yeah, I think iRacing is going to be getting some emails after this race about the street stocks.
That is highly likely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of hoping that we don't get no... I mean, if we even get a caution, I think Carpenter, I mean, he's going to be set in a good way because of McRae and Wilson, they'll be back on the lead lap. Even if that happens, I mean, they're going to be so far behind Carpenter, they're going to need another caution to get back up there to even be a force to be reckoned with here.
Yeah, 47 laps, about to be 46 laps to go. They're going to need a lot of luck on their side, but with as many cars out of the race and as many cars laps down and more with a little protection around him, Noah Carpenter might just be safe. As you mentioned, he's got guys in front and behind that are not going to give him any problems here. So I think Noah might be, we talked about it at the top of the race, first time winner tonight. I think we're about to see it. And good evening, Danny. I hope you and Joe are doing well. Hope Joe gets to feeling better.
Yeah, me and Joe, we had our little rivalry throughout the last season into this season, and Joe's a good guy. Hope he gets to feeling better. I like Joe. I like having a rivalry with Joe, but he's always been a good guy, clean racer. He knows how to get under my skin, but I still enjoy it.
Yeah. You know, and anytime I think about Joe, I think about that season opener at Charlotte and the way that race, him pulling off that win. Man, that guy does not have any give up in him because a lot of drivers that last 5 laps would have just thrown their hands in the air with the mess he drove through, but somehow he managed to drive through for the win. If you guys missed that, it is in the XCAL playlist on the YouTube channel, and you definitely want to watch that season opener at Charlotte.
Yeah, it was a well-deserved win too, because I know people talk about plate wins and like how they don't count and this and that, but the guy still had to drive through the mess. He outsmarted y'all, so he got the win. It counts, and it was well-deserved.
J&S really, the end of last season, they were starting to crank it up. This season, they have been tough all season long. They have managed to get longer fuel runs. They're one of the teams that has kept up with EHP on fuel runs, and they've even outrun Luke Turpin on occasion on fuel mileage. So it's definitely interesting. As the leader is coming around, Kendrick Cryer.
He has Kyle Martin up there in front of him because they're going to pass Cryer here.
Yeah.
I think Cryer's just trying to... He knows he's probably got a top 5, so he's being smart. He's just going to ride that. But Noah's got Kyle to play with here again, and we know that they've had words spoken through fenders.
Brad Eblay, just getting word, has blown a motor. He is out, so looks like, if I'm right, there's 26 cars left in the field. A few guys still on pit road that may come back out, but on track, only 26 of the, 37 cars started the race. So 11 cars out of the race so far. That's dang near a third of the field out of the race.
Yeah, I mean, I figured still a good amount would finish, but not finish well. But the points are coming down in the line. Guys are looking for money. You got to get every position you can. I mean, Blake Wynn, he had all that trouble. He's still back out there. He's in 18th place. He's got to chip away at it. I'm not sure about the point situation, but I know him and Schwartz were close. They're teammates. Schwartz took a hard hit tonight in points. You know, DNFing early.
Yeah, Blake Wynn came in tonight 6th in points, so tonight he really has got to ride it out just to make something happen here.
Wonder how hard some of these guys' pocketbooks are going to hit.
What is it? If I remember correctly, it's a quarter for every incident point per race. That's ironically, that's why the purse is one of the lowest purses of the season tonight. $205, just over $205 just over $205 due to the fact that Rockingham was such a clean race. It was a big surprise given some of the past Rockingham races as Zach Edwards just started blinking.
Yeah, I always hated coming out of a bigger track, and going into another track, especially like a transition from Rockingham to here, because coming to here, you're going to take a harder hit on your wallet because typically, like Rockingham, it's going to be a cleaner race, not a lot of incident points, so the payout's not going to be as big. Next week after this, wherever they're going, I can't remember, but it's going to be a little bit bigger a purse because we've seen some incidents here.
Yeah, we definitely have seen a lot of incidents here tonight. Taking a quick look at the schedule. Next week is next week XCAL goes to Bristol.
Petey gets into the 3. He saves it.
Watching Petey here, could be seeing tire wear become an issue. We've seen guys on the long runs start to lose the back end a bit.
Yeah, Bristol was a track I was kind of looking forward to run this year, but there was a big upset, and what was it, 3 or 4 cars that raced at Bristol.
It was a 3-car race and one of the most oddball broadcasts I've ever done.
Yeah, and they're going to go back there. They're going to get a chance back there again, and it should be an interesting race. I ran last year there at Bristol. It was a pretty fun race. It's going to be interesting, though. I mean, especially, like I said, with this new damage model, Bristol and them street stocks, you wanted to run up close to that wall through the whole track. I mean, how far do you cheat that wall now with the way the damage is?
Yeah, you're not going to be cheating it much at all. And I have to say, that race at Bristol last year, that was a crazy race. There was a lot of guys that, barely limped to the line. And almost saw a first-time winner. Gerald Thanos Poole got very close to victory lane, and in the last 15, 20 laps comes out of turn 4 into a big pileup with nowhere to go after fighting back multiple times. Chris Johnson has just towed to the pits. I have no idea what has happened to Chris, but he is on pit road.
Yeah, well, he better get back out there because he's going to get knocked out of the money, and Zach's going to take it away from him if he don't get out there soon. I mean, there's another one. Zach, he was back in, 33rd or so early in the race, got caught up, and he's 46 laps down, but he's running 21st right now.
Yeah, he is definitely, he's only 5 laps behind, 6 laps behind Chris. 5 laps behind Kyle.
Kyle Martin got into the 3. The 66 checked up. The 3 got loose there. I don't know what happened after. The incident points are going to start ramping up here.
Let's see what happened. There's the spin back behind. Then here comes Kyle closing in. And the 3 just ended up stopped on the track. Let's take a back up from where this one started and see if we can see. Oh, this 3 just gets wicked loose through that going into the turn. It looks like he just missed his braking point. Noah Carpenter, 14 laps to go here to his first victory in XCAL competition, and what a dominant race this would be for him to win.
Yeah, this kid knows what he was doing coming into this race, so very happy to see him run well, and if he does walk away with this win, I mean, it's well deserved. I mean, he's been fast since he's come in here, and it's really good to see like a younger kid too with a good head on his shoulders.
It really is worth noting, in 2 and 1.5 more laps, at 10 laps to go, there will be no more wave around. So once that 10 to go mark hits, nobody's getting waved back to the lead lap. Then Noah just has to survive 10 more laps. At 5 laps to go, there will be no more cautions. So if anything happens, it's kind of up in the air. But right now, As of right now, no more waiver rounds. Noah Carpenter is the only car on the lead lap. Tyler McRae wants to win. He's going to have to go around him the old-fashioned way, and I don't see it happening.
McRae's been pretty good tonight. He's run solid. He's good, but right now Tyler, I mean, he's smart enough. He knows not to push the envelope. He'll go home second, and he's a guy you can trust be around. So I don't see anything happening there.
Matt Baird just got into Joey Keneally. Keneally ends up down facing the infield. One car incident, will not throw the caution. But the leader is gaining on Matt Baird, and we've talked about Matt is a little bit frustrated here tonight.
Yeah, I thought the frustration would have went away when he seen Rocky end his night before lap 50, and he just getting a little hot-headed again, and it's starting to show.
Yeah, he has a top 10 run going right now. Matt is definitely in contention in the points. He is definitely in the money points-wise, too, so he's got to be careful and smart about this. I know he's a bit angry, but coming into tonight about 13th in the points, he's got to just hold on to that top 10 run.
Yeah, I mean, he's a whole lap ahead of Steven Rex in 11th, and it's just time to calm down, not care about who did you wrong, just bring it home 10th and don't get any more incidents.
McRecken is blowing up. He's going to try and limp it down. There will be no more cautions. McRecken is on pit road now. Kyle Martin's night ending a few laps early. And next time by, Noah Carpenter will be 2 laps from his first ever XCAL win. Wow, what a night for him. Tyler McRae saying, what about Wally Wilson, who's going to come home in third tonight? What a great run out of him as well.
Yeah, I don't know who the guy is, but he's been impressive all night.
Huge shout out to Greg Holes coming home in fourth, Jim Johnson in fifth. White flag is in the air for Noah Carpenter. And if I can't remember, I was trying to look and see if how many first-time winners we have, but Noah Carpenter is a new one. Noah Carpenter gets his first win here at Lanier.
Nice job. Happy to see him win. But look at fourth and fifth, Greg Halls and James Johnson. Fourth, I mean, very good run. Sean Patrick's in eighth. Luke Turpin, being Superman, he brings home 9th place.
Matt Baer comes home in 10th, probably extraordinarily angry 10th, but nonetheless, he comes home in 10th. A great night for him as well. And man, Jim Johnson and Greg Holes, you got to give them a shout out. And newcomer Wally Wilson coming home in third. I mean, we knew this could be an upside down kind of night, and that definitely has played out here.
Yeah, I mean, John Friley, he came home 17th, and from the get-go, he was having problems, but brings home another top 20. Blake Lynn stuck with it and finished 18th. Kyle Martin, he blew up, but still brings it home 19th. And Zach Edwards, he's going to finish in the money tonight, and had I don't know what happened to him earlier, but come back and gets 20th.
Yep, and it looks like the drivers are starting to hop in, so give us just a moment. We'll start interviews. And what a night it has been. Let's start by talking to third place, Wally Wilson. Hey, Wally, this is Doug in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, first off, do believe, correct us if we're wrong, but this is only your first or second XCAL competition race.
It is.
And you come home in third place, man. What an awesome run you had tonight.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Car was hooked up.
It looked like at a couple of points you might have challenged for the win. Obviously ending up a little bit behind due to pits and cautions, but man, still coming back and fighting for third, especially after starting all the way back in 36th.
Yeah, I got kind of screwed over on pit lane. I sped and I ended up having to start at the back, and I lost like think 2 laps because of it or something. So I was just really far back at that point, and then fought my way back up and somehow came out third.
Well, man, we are definitely going to be seeing more of you in the future, and that was a great run tonight. Congratulations. Any team or sponsors you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank Black Sheep Racing and EHP.
Congratulations, buddy. Great run tonight.
Thank you.
Wally Wilson comes home in third. Tyler McRae comes home in second. And Robert, I'll let you handle Tyler.
Tyler here.
Hello.
Oh, hey, how you doing, Tyler?
Doing good. It was a little stressful counting down the laps, making sure I was going to get to the finish because I ran out on that last pit stop coming to my pit sign.
Yeah, I see you finished 1 lap down there, but still a good strong run. I told them earlier, these older guys, they're gonna benefit with this new damage model. What was that like?
I don't really know. I didn't really look like I saw Petey with a crazy thing. He could still drive around the track with his right rear cocked out, but you know, people catching each other's quarter panels, and Lanier, it's still tough not to give room. I mean, I got in a few bumps forward and from the side a couple times, but try not to run over people. But at some point, you got to tell them let you go. But there are a lot of people out here that are very nice. They can tell you're on new tires. They can tell you're either 1 lap down, no laps down, you're ahead of them. And they normally give you the room. The majority of the people do, and I really appreciate that because I try to do the same thing for them. When it's their turn, you know, when I'm not running as good or they got new tires, I try to do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, you drove a hell of a race, and I mean, deep down, I was pulling for Noah, young kid coming in. Would have liked to see him win, but if it wasn't him, it would have been you. What was the bump and run like, though? Because I told Doug earlier, you know, the bump and run with the damage, I've heard that if you get hit from behind, you can get a meatball. Was there any, like, effect with any of that stuff?
No, I mean, I got a few people. I got Mason, just kind of like tapped him, let him know, hey, I'm here. I got Blake a little too hard. I was kind of doing the same thing, like, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to go, I don't want to ride behind you kind of deal. And I got him a little sideways, so I feel bad for that because I don't want that. I want to race him and beat him, but I don't want to hit him or, you know, really knock him out the way. But a few people might have been on accident after that, but most people gave a lot of room. You know, it's kind of wild how there's a lot of people going down laps down really quick, so that kind of changed the race up pretty fast.
Well, you did a hell of a job tonight, and happy to see you come in second.
I appreciate you, man. Look, I spent about 1,000 laps, probably more, working on my setups. And I put Steve's setup that he put in tonight. I put it in about 5 minutes before the race, put a couple adjustments on it, and here I am. So, man, I really want to thank Steve, you know, for doing that setup, for all the dropping bombs guys, you know, Sean, Travis Sukup, you know, he puts in work with us too, even though he didn't race this week. He put a lot of help in. Matt, you know, our new team that we work with Luke and Matt Bear and Greg, you know, we all have input and try to help each other. And I mean, I really appreciate our friendship. I really want that win. I got a lot of races in XCAL without a win. But our darn friendship and dropping the bombs is pretty awesome. I know we'd talk a little mess back and forth with other people, but it's a lot of fun hanging out with our guys.
Well, it was fun to watch, and the work pays off because most of y'all finished in the top 10.
Yeah, unfortunately, the caution came out on Steve. He was leading from cycling, and he went down pit road and came back out and ran out of gas and had a tow. And that was he would have probably been closer up than that, maybe top 5.
Congratulations, man. Great run tonight. Oh, sorry, Robert.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, yeah, I seen that. I mean, we watched it.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all guys. Hope y'all have a good night.
All right, buddy. Congrats. And now we go to Fuel Factor Victory Lane, Fuel Factor X Victory Lane for the first time ever. Noah Carpenter gets the win and wins by over a lap. Noah, that was a pretty dominant performance for JNS.
Yeah, Zach had a ripper setup this weekend. Big thanks to him for all the time he put into it. Big thanks to Joe and Danielle for giving me this opportunity. I definitely wouldn't be here without them.
Man, I have to ask, I know it was talked about Joe being sick, and, everybody was saying they want JNS to get the win tonight, cheering on Joe. But, man, you went out there, not only gave a win, but you were pulling away constantly. Anytime you got hit, you just held on to it. A couple of times we didn't know if you would be able to save it or not.
Yeah, it was pretty full contact sport out there. It felt like those last few laps, but just got to hang on to it because I had a lap lead and just had to keep going.
How many incident points did you end the race with?
I think it was like 12 or 16.
Wow, that's actually far less than we expected, man. That was an awesome, awesome performance. Obviously, since joining XCAL, you have been up there in the fight, finally getting that first win. I suspect we're going to see many, many more out of you. Great job tonight. Any team sponsors or anybody you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank Flamin' Karma Paint Shop, everyone on the team, Alex for strategy, Zach with setups, everyone else for just helping me this week. It was really great.
Congratulations, man. I know Mark was cheering you on all night, so go celebrate with him, man. Congratulations. That was a great race.
Thank you.
Well, you called it at the beginning, Robert. You said we could get a first-time winner here tonight. You were 100% right.
I mean, the kid's smart. The kid's good. And I mean, if he's with JNS next year, y'all better watch out because, I mean, he's fast. And I like him because he's a young kid with a good head on his shoulders. And that's what I like. I like he has like an old school way. And he doesn't run through you to pass. So some of y'all need to take note.
Well, we finish here with a lot of bumping and grinding. And, yeah, it was definitely a rough night going into next week at Bristol. What are your thoughts on that one going to be?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, it's so hard to say with the damage model. I mean, it's tough, but I don't know. For some reason I got a feeling, since I'm so good at calling these things out here now lately, Blake Wynn's gonna win next week at Bristol. I got this weird feeling he's gonna win.
I am making a note of that now, so we'll definitely be talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at incident points since people were so interested. Kyle Martin had the most at 32. Art Hendren has 0 and Mike Ashby has 0, but they didn't. I don't know if they. How did Art? I don't think ever connected, but Mike Ashby, I thought he got into something, but he has 0. But everyone else, they got some incident points here.
It was definitely. Art never did connect, and Mike was out early, but I thought that was an incident going to pit road, so he got into the wall there in 1 and 2 that very first incident. So I'm a bit surprised he didn't have any, but hey, you know what? At least his team owner's not out the money tonight.
Hey, Sean Patrick, I think, is the MVP next to the winner. He got 2 incident points with an 8th place finish. He's going to bring in some money.
That is awesome. Well, congratulations to everybody, man. Thank you, Robert, for hopping up here with me tonight. It's been great fun having you.
Thank you. Oh, Kyle said he wants a beer count, and so far I'm looking like 17, so.
Nice work on that.
Yep.
I think I'm going to go get a glass of scotch. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. This one has been a wild one. Don't forget to come back tomorrow night. The Nowski Nation Legacy Series continues, and a lot more racing to come next week. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did tonight. Y'all have a great night.
This is my good friend who had cancer when we were really little, and he was able to beat it through early detection, and now he just recently graduated from Santa Clara.
This picture's really funny. My dad was diagnosed with cancer my freshman year of high school. Thanks to early detection, he now gets to see me graduate from college.
Eight years ago, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, but thanks to early detection, I'll get to spend this Christmas with her.
My dad was diagnosed with cancer when I was 10, and he passed away soon after. Maybe if we had early detection, he would have been able to be there to walk me down the aisle.
Early detection saves lives.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and eNASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
What?